Hey everybody, this is Ray. I was going to originally show a bunch of problems that I'm having with trying to get the swim animation working. I'm just going to leave the stuff out because at this point in time it just absolutely refuses to work, and I have the parameters and everything set up correctly in the player, but it just player animator, but it just refuses to recognize it and transition out from the locomotion to swimming animation, and then back. It literally starts doing this bouncy thing in between, uh, like it's trying to fire off one but getting stuck and trying to loop back to the other. And then I don't know how to resolve it at all. It's not like with the jumping animation, trying to get the animations lined up right. This thing is just straight out refusing to call it, and I even created a separate swimming script rather than put it in player movement to see if I did something wrong there, and it has the same effect. So if anybody wants more information on that and they think they can help with writing the scripting to actually call the animator correctly, great. Because I'll just show you how it's set up parameter wise. We'll do the basic thing, and then I'll get in to show you one of the things I did with tiles for anybody who wants to help, create scenes and stuff. Okay. There's nothing, and I kind of wiped it all out because it was like, it's not working. There's no point of having that stuff in there and causing a potential error later or some other lockdown. Yeah, everything's set up correctly. You got the base layer here. Okay, and then we have is swimming is true. Exit time is off. We've got the transition time there, no interruption source. We have exit time is off. Swimming is false. Duration also set the same. It's not even entering into and keeping that state. In addition, it's not a state machine, it's a blend tree, which I did on purpose. And we have forward swim, 1D on Y, which is also correct. It says forward swim on the animation here, but it's actually backward swim because I actually originally had it as this, just to do the reverse animation. So if I go ahead and show you from that, you see it's like pushing backwards for swimming, and then we got forward for movement. And then for the treading, it's basically the same thing as a swimming idle. So no moving, just a like floaty effect, which it should be. So again, forward, backward, yada yada, all set correctly like it should be done. And that is a little trick for when I haven't been able to find a proper backward swimming with the locomotion or at Mixamo or anything else. Since I'm not an animator, I gotta do with what I got. But yeah, it's like I got this working, and these use 3 different blend trees. So it's like, and they're sub blend trees at that. And I got all that working. Setting them up correctly on here for same kind of thing. Putting them in the right position. So this is almost identical to this, except that this one's backwards, that one's forwards. Took me a little while to get that one sorted out. So, yeah. No idea why it doesn't want to work. So, hell with it, right? So let's get focusing on this other thing I was going to show you. We'll move that there. All right. So what I did is I created this tool here where when you get things set the way you want it, you can go for it and, you know, add as many tiles as you want to the ground area. Just remember, the larger the number, the longer it's going to take to load all of them. So if you do something crazy like 1,000 up in here, you're gonna be sitting there a while it tries to process and put them all in. These are all the prefabs. I should probably adjust the LOD down on all of them. There we go, 20%. I just find that to be a good range with that. And it's not because the tiles themselves have a lot of detail on them, they really don't. It's more of a factor that as things get further away and they become more numerous, it can actually cause latency. So when you create something like this using a single layer and stuff, a lot of times it'll give you 3 different things for here, but with a single layer object like this, you don't need to worry about that. What you do need to do when you create it though is it'll have the like 3 areas here for whatever. Just drag the tile thing into itself so it's clear on that part and you'll be all right. And keep crossfade on, because if you don't, it'll try to put you in the speed tree, and if you do none, it won't work at all. So that's a little thing to note for anybody who decides to help with something like this, with creating scenery. And if somebody wants the copy of the script that I'm using, it's really simple, really. It's kind of something I figured out with some of the other weird tricks that I was working on to add a little bit more overall to the project. Get most of these down 20%. I'm going to leave one at the distance here of 8% so you can see why I do that. And we'll leave that one just fine, so we'll change that later. Let's go ahead and take the ground tile 0 first. Now we entered 20. Let's do 0. Generate. Well, look at that. We got our tile. That's 0 point. That's why it's written that way. Let's go ahead and do 2, and it'll create the other 9 around it. Let's do that one. You can see each time you go up a number, it exponentially creates everything in here. Now, cool part is you can remove that and you're all right. Let me go ahead and create something here. We're going to do a duplicate because I want to show you something. Yeah, let's use this one. Okay, first we're going back over into this part. Because when you remove the script, like I said, it's not. I did this on purpose because then you don't have to have it on there anymore if you don't want to. If you want to keep it all set up in there, you can. But meh. So group tile. Let's go ahead and hit this again. We're going to put it at 0. Well, it's got nothing to work with, so it tells you we need at least a prefab, which is fine. So let's go ahead and put test in there. Watch this. We've changed all the tiles. And since we only put 0 in there, we're back to the same singular one. And why the directional light is so freaking bright on this one, I got no idea. But let's tone that down a bit. Maybe that's something within here that got it too bright or something. Oh, yeah. That can do it. Whenever you put something as a secondary layer in, whatever, that can cause a really bright reflection on the ground. So yeah, just turn the directional light down a little bit so that's a little bit more normal. And whenever you do put lights in this, I usually do mixed. That way you don't have any other issues. And if you check one of these off, when you're on other scenes, you'll get a notice that lighting has been disabled in at least one scene. So ignore it if you've actually set it that way on purpose or removed them. But anyways, we'll go ahead and do that. Go back here. So here's the other cool part. Alright, let's go ahead and put it up to just 5. It doesn't really matter how many you put in there. So we got a reasonable number, and you can see that already at the distance we have. If we go too far here, it'll be out of our range. Usually 5 is about what the normal standard planes are that they have with ground tile or ground warp plane. And I've hated that thing for a while because it has so many dang issues. I don't even want to get into all of that, but anyways. Let's go ahead and then accidentally, on purpose, delete this. Oh no! What happened to my tile? I can't find it. No, what am I supposed to do? I want it back. Okay, well, that's fine because all these are now garbage anyways. Okay? And if you try to save it and come back, these don't come back as unpacked so that you can use them again. If you wanted to do unpacked, you right click and you unpack all, or put it back like that. When you do the unpack part, you simply restore it as a localized object in that scene, and it's up to you if you need to create a clone of it and put it in here as a prefab to use later. But obviously we don't have that in there, so let's go with this. Just some random tile I decided to throw in there, right? Oh, look at that. It's all replaced. What's going on with that? It's because we got the extra one outside of the scene. Or outside of the group. But if you actually look at the individual, nothing. It didn't overwrite or create duplicate layers. We've got exactly what we wanted. All happy, joy, joy, whatever. Now, we can also take what we've got here, we can expand it again. And we have all the ones we need for this area. And we got 20 distance away. Okay, let's use the other one. Let's just put that in there, leave that as the same. Okay, so let's go to the one that only has 8% on the distance on the tile. And put that in there. Hit generate. And this way you can see how the LOD actually works. And also how this script works. Now I have a clear ground too, so you can get rid of all of it if you don't like any of them. But still keep the space, so you can kind of think about what else you might want to put in there instead. So it's just kind of like a backup condition option there. There you go. Now, since it's a default news scene, I'm just going to go ahead and save it as. And I think I already did all that with the other scenes. I'll go ahead and take a quick look while I got you guys on here. If you're not interested, then that's fine. It's kind of concluded at this point anyway. I'm just double checking. Yeah, okay. And yes, I did redo the portal designs here. I haven't actually set them up for anything, but since we're already here, different location, let's go ahead and I believe it's FL1. No, this is CV1. Okay, Crystal Valley 1. Target scene, first landing, and then it's FL1. I believe. But in any case, let's just go ahead and turn it on so you can actually see how it looks. I created a glass style shader for it. And gave it an inner area with these little things representing interior lighting, and I have these things set up where they're kind of semi-translucent. Just to add to that nifty little effect. And I changed the entry portal on this design and created the little curved text for it. Cyberethia Global Link. And then since there's nobody actually in the scene, so that's not knowing where to find the player, if you turn this off, this should turn back to normal, see? So I got it all worked out on that. And let's double check, yes. So I put this on here too, so you know the direction that this thing is facing, which will determine where your player will come out. Originally I had it where if you show up in the scene, you'll be right here and facing outward, but I decided if you use the portals to get in here, it's just better that you're facing the direction that you come out in when you're looking into the location scene. So that's just some stuff that I did. For the hells of it. And we'll actually go ahead and change that to 3. Just to be on the safe side. But, okay. And you can kind of see in here, I also have that tile group setting. And because I changed the stuff in the prefabs, it doesn't always work, but usually it does. These tiles became a little different. That was the other reason why I changed all of them, so you can kind of see how that happens. I'm now going to be working on a little bit later a randomized map generator for a maze, for the Madness Maze. And that way I can see if it works out, so I don't have to sit there and manually put everything in. because that becomes really time consuming. And then if I like the layout, then I can just do the same principle as with this. Anywho, thank you for taking time to check it all out with me, and you stay safe and take care of yourselves. And again, if anybody wants to help with the swimming animation issue, because it's been a really major one that I've been putting off for a long time and not asking help with, my hands are tied on that one now. Same thing with the inventory, working with the dialogue quest thing, and not being able to actually use consumables and actually equip the player with different things. That's the bridge I can't seem to bridge. All these other little tricks, I seem to be just fine with. Stupid. Anywho, take care everybody. Stay safe.